Alrighty. Welcome. How we all doing? Land of August, thank you very much. Great to have you pop past. Dash, hello from Iraq. Welcome. Drew Silva. Great to have you. Alright, let me just get my bearings situated. Dazzling, Ashland Glitch, Thun Guns, Young Word, Artistic, Travis, Devi, The Bone Brew, Orkin, and SRJ. Welcome. How are you all doing? Oh, I won't start without you. Amalmuzia. Mixter, how you doing? Oh, Debbie doing retopology in Blender. My condolences. Katie Cat, welcome. Artistic came from another drawing. My weekend was good. The Bone Brew. I was thinking, where's my glove? Yeah, well, we're just gonna be sticking to the surface a little bit today, I guess. So I was thinking, I wanna play around with this guy. I wanna have like a character, like riding him, like on top of him. I don't know why. I just had that thought a little bit earlier. I was like, all right, that'll be a cool challenge to try and like get something cool happening, you know? So we'll be working with animal, like with the gorilla, maybe a different pose, like he's running, and then maybe someone on his back. I don't know. But after our warm-ups. Oh my god. That coffee indigestion. Ashton, I haven't had a chance. I saw the notification. I'll have to check it out after the stream. I've just been absolutely flat out. I haven't, as soon as I posted something last night, it was just working up to do that post, and then I've just been checked out. Bad choice of words. What else is new? Spearman? Potentially. Ishan, how you doing? Welcome. Maybe a guy with a spear and a skull mask, and then have some sort of like tech cyborg thing going on. So you've got animals, you've got anatomy with the skull, you've got figure like character, and you've got tech shit going on. Hit all the things. Cuckoo, welcome. I'm doing well. All right, let's get stuck into it. Gonna cock around with that and gonna find out. I love that idea. I want to. I might even want to do prints of something like that, just for the people in the know. Sushil, how to prevent procrastination? Lots of different strategies. One thing is to try and vividly see or feel what it's going to be like after you've done the goal that you want to do. That helps me. Also just getting lessening the scope of the thing that you're trying to do. So do something like super small. That really helps me. Bullwinkle, great to have you. Oh, the broadcast with Patrick Jones. It was good fun. It was good fun. You can smell the fun. All right. Cool. Okay. Let's. Also, I'll whip for those of you that have Spotify. I'll whip in the whatever it's called. The jam. Is it a jam or whatever it is? How do I start a jam? It was easy to do before. Let me start a jam. They've changed their UI up again, as always. How to start jam. No, I don't want lyrics. No. As always, it's difficult. Private session, no. Maybe they've removed it. Where's this one? How the fuck do I start a bloody jam session? They always change shit in Spotify. Oh well. I'll figure it out next break. Don't want you guys sitting here just watching me try to find a setting in Spotify. Okay, so I've chosen this little bit of reference. I'm using PureRef. We'll pop into Pinterest at some stage, but as we all know, for those regulars, I think there's a memory leak in their app because this is smooth as silk, but if I turn on Pinterest, it's a no-go. What am I trying to do? Plugins panel. That's what I'm after. Filthy. Fill. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to stylize. We're going to push and change. I really like the vibrant colors, and I'm a sucker for palm trees. So Art of the Covenant, great to have you. Rocket Raccoon, Dylan, how you doing? Rocket Raccoon or Joel would be fun to ride the gorilla. That's the thing, we could do whatever we want. Maybe the idea changes as we go, but let's just start. I've got to figure out re-upload. Oh, not re-upload. Figure out. What am I trying to say? Bloody hell. Reinstall the timer script so we can start doing timed sessions again. That's what I'd like to do. And this week, I'm making it a bloody priority. We're going to do a studio session where I'm airbrushing some stuff, we're sculpting some things, we're doing some cool stuff. It's happening. Okay. Let's continue. How's audio levels all good? Everything's chuffing along all fine, I hope. Let me know if it's not, and I'll make the necessary adjustments. What I'm going to do here, maybe, let's do a quick sketch. What am I after? There we go. Smoothing. Fuck the smoothing off. All right. Now, what's the deal with it? It's a Porsche, I believe. What's the... I've done a Porsche before, I think. It's the shapes. The shapes is triangle here, triangle, and like this kind of deal, right? And that's more close to the realistic shape. So maybe we make this a little larger. I like playing around with like the profile views as well. Stuff. Maybe it's like super skinny. That could work. Maybe it doesn't have to be as extreme. We can just play around. And then scale it down to fit in the scene. Not getting too caught up with it, you know. Ashley, you just realised it's filthy. No, it's not. It's just. Oh, I'm glad it clicked for you. Go on the playlist and click on the 3 dots. Gives you extra options. Autoplay, playback, storage. No, can't find it. Damn. All right, we'll figure it out in the break. So there we go. We've got our basic shape. All right. I like all this foliage. I like this. I like the time of day. So we can really simplify some of these trees in the background, the greenery. Then we got all these little things in the background, right? We got the central palms here. So this is all I need, just to give myself a bit of an idea. So we got the mountains in the background. Cool. All right, that's all I need. That's all I need. Don't need to get any more precise than that. Audio's chill, fantastic. Ashlyn, got to get that sleep. So how would you do without color blocking? Like this, I guess, if that's what you mean. Now I want to try and be really like chunky with my shapes. I think the era of chunk is upon us. I want to really like chunkify my stuff, even like the sculpts and things. So this is a good little starting point, right? Any tips on making the subject match the background? It depends on what you're doing, whether it's line work or coloring, lighting. Lighting and shape language is huge. It's like everything, right? Even playing around more and more with Blender, which I recommend people do, even if you're like mainly 2D. Crack open Blender. It's free. You should be able to do some simple stuff on like an OK computer, you know, or even Nomad Sculpt or anything, right? And play around with the lighting. It is amazing how shit something can look with like incorrect lighting. Right? Even if it's like a beautiful sculpt and it looks all great and blah, blah, blah. And it's the same with a drawing, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're creating the illusion of 3D form. It's nuts how absolutely garbage something can look without like a good lighting or like a good strategic lighting. And it's what photographers are like, I've been talking about for bloody years as well. Like same. Oh, KT Cat, it's your first time catching a stream. Great to have you, KT. Don't want to sound corny, but you really inspired me to get back into art when I was at my lowest. Oh man, that's awesome. Nah, glad to have you back on board into the art stuff. It's fun, you know. I always feel shit if I haven't made something, or if I haven't like painted something in a while, you know. Like life just gets in the way and whatever. It's then it's like, oh yeah, this is why I do it, because it's just bloody fun. All right, so this looks garbage. We all know this. We all know this. We know the drill. It's gonna look shit to begin with. Just hold your horses. And I'm mainly just saying that for myself. All right, this looks like a child is drawing it. Okay. Chunky bushes, there we go. Skyline, how you doing? Ashley, my pathetic laptop can't handle anything with better graphics than Skyrim. I cannot handle Blender. Have you given it a shot? And using the Eevee render engine? Cycles will explode a lot of computers, but because it's worth it, even if you can just get like a little something going. I highly recommend. All right, so now we're just whipping some shapes in. I want to get that let's get the wall in the background so we've got something to, I don't know, I just want to put the wall in the background. There's nothing more needs to be said. Wall there. Right, and then I want to get the mountains in the background, but I'm thinking a little bit ahead here. I don't want to put them like super dark, right? Because that just, also they were inverted, so that doesn't make any sense. But if they're super dark, it doesn't look quite right. So what I want to do is really brighten them up. Right, squint my eyes. Yeah, that's pretty, I don't know, something like that maybe. And then we can add details and shit later. All right. Let us continue just whipping in a couple more accoutrements, little bits and pieces, little indications, nothing detailed. Detail is the enemy right now. Oh, listening to some all-time low nostalgia overload right now. All right. Let's whip in some foreground stuff. No, wrong. Just some indication of like, yeah, this is a road. Only 56 gigabyte. Okay, fair enough. Fair. Do you have an iPad, or your friend has an iPad or something? Nomad Sculpt is a great option as well. Or even doing the James Gurney thing and actually setting up a maquette of like things, like getting some clay, going old school, getting some clay, sculpting some things, lighting it in different directions, getting your iPhone, framing it up and seeing what light looks good, and then snapping a photo, using that for reference. Like there's kind of infinite ways to do stuff. All right, now whipping in some local colors of Le Motaviachel. Yeah, I might even do that. Because I'm trying to think, all right, I'm going into the more traditional world a little bit, dipping my toes in. Maybe making some maquettes and like sculpting some things to then use as reference in digital or even traditional painting. Like, the possibilities are endless. The time, however, is not. Thank goodness. You never disappoint, my friend. Make it happen. Love it. Gotta bloody love it. Alright. So we got super simple stuff going on here. It looks like I don't know, something not great. But let's keep it going, keep it. Okay. We're going to whip in some, let's ground the car. Alright, so there's a lot of shadow in the background there. Let's make this a multiply layer so it doesn't completely opacify everything. Also, actually I might do an announcement tomorrow. I might stream tomorrow. Do a little session. Because there is an announcement. Debbie, how long does a sculpt usually take me? It depends. It really depends. I'm not... I couldn't give you an actual number. Because I'm not that... It's not as like second nature, I guess you could say, as this kind of stuff yet. So like, for example, if a client came to me and said, all right, how long would it take for you to do XYZ, like painting or drawing? I could be like, yep, bing, bang, boom. It would take me X amount of days. But sculpting, it's like, oh, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell them. It gets done when it gets done. But yeah, I wouldn't take the job in that case, unless they're comfortable with it being like, all right, just get it to me whenever. I'm like, sick, cool. I'll see you in 2026. All right. Let's start mapping out some of these deeper tones. So I'm seeing, so it's yellow, right? The base color, the local color is yellow. But yellow can mean very different things depending on the context. So I'm seeing a bit of orange here. Some deeper colors as it's reflecting the ground. And then there's going to be a little bit of less like desaturated shapes, like this reflection of the sun or the clouds. It looks a little bit overcut. Oh, I guess, no, it doesn't, because there's no clouds there. The way that the reflection is with this camera, the reflection is going to be really desaturated, right? Just from observation. That'll do. And let's, as we increase the brightness, let's desaturate it just a smidge. So the very top planes of the car might be a little bit more desaturated as it's facing the sky. And that's a good little rule that I like to play by, is like, it depends a lot. So it's not a rule. It's like something to think about. Is as something turns towards a light source, particularly say like a white light source, it tends to get a little bit more desaturated. But again, all depending on the light source. It's all contextual. So just cleaning up these janky shapes, rounding those corners, making it a little bit more chunky, I guess you could say. Super, welcome. Artistic, I'm not entirely sure. It might just be a spur of the moment sort of deal. But I will be doing like a drawing for it. Maybe. I think. Tentative, let's say. I've been binge watching bloody Adam Savage's stuff, like tested. I want a milling machine. I want a drill press. I want like so many things now because I'm like, oh yeah, that could be cool. That could be great. I want a vacuum forming machine so that I can do like packaging all in house. It's dangerous diving into this manufacture. Would you classify it as manufacturing? Like all the sculpts and stuff? I guess it is. It's like micro manufacturing, maybe. But it's like so fun because it's just like, because you're building it yourself, all you are limited by then is time. So it's like, all right, I want this particular effect on the packaging, or I want this particular whatever. It's like, all right, just got to buy the tool or do the janky version of it and like jerry rig a tool together or make something and then yeah, go for it. That's what I like about not outsourcing things, particularly in the beginning, or at least from my experience with all the sculpting and shipping them all out. I know the process from beginning to end. So it does help a lot with just understanding how things work and probably sourcing, like if I needed to outsource particular elements of the production process in the future, I can sort of vet who I'm working with, like how long they think it's going to take and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm just rambling. It's very top of mind at the moment. All right, so now I'm pumping in the shadows. Just very sort of willy and nilly. Now let's add in some of these shadows on the back so then we can, it's all about, like what I'm thinking about is the form of the thing and then the environment around it. Like how do we sit that thing then into the place that it's sitting in. So that's what I'm doing now with the trees in the background. So we can add in some of these shadows here. I think let's make that a little bit more of an interesting color. Maybe like a little bit of a cooler shadow, you know? Sorry, Instagram, that was bloody very tiny. How's that? I think it was literally just Pinterest that was slowing us down. So what happened here? Hello? Excuse me? Oh. Okay, now as it gets darker behind the foliage, Let's darken it down a little bit. Alright, let's actually darken these down just a smidge. And then saturate them. Just go bam. Alright, we zoom out. It's starting to look like something. Starting. It's starting. It's not there yet. And when we put all the reflections and stuff on the car and the tires and everything, it'll come together. For me, if the client doesn't need it ASAP, it's never getting done. Fair. Fair. Elaine. Boy norte. Can someone translate that for me, please? I get ambitious about projects that I'm still pretty new at, like you with sculpting. It's good to be aware of what you can do / how long it will take. I think so, but when you're getting into it, I think it's good to have a bit of naivete because you don't know how much work it's going to be, but you've got to finish it. You're so... Thank you, Dirus Salixes. Appreciate you. Like if I knew how much work it was going to get the release of Plain Jane, I would procrastinate the shit out of it because I'm like, oh, I've got to do this and this. But once you're in it, you're like, all right, the next thing, got to figure it out. The next thing, got to figure it out. And because you're in it, you don't know the whole scope of things. I think there's a benefit to that. Not always. Exactly. Yeah, Debbie. Yeah, I've learned. I don't profess to be an expert in anything. I just like learning shit and sharing the process. That's the core of everything that I'm putting out. I think more people should experiment with that because it is such a fun thing. Even just doing this, you know, just hanging out. Like, I don't feel like I have to have all the answers because I don't. But you see here, what I'm looking at is the different variations in greens. It's not just green. You've got that sort of lime green going on in the top of these bad boys here. Then we can drop it back into more of a cooler green, but let's like chunkify it. So this is kind of the edge of that shadow on top of the trees, or the bushes, I guess you could say. Then let's darken them down just a smidge. Art means good night. Thank you, Ashley. Super. So you're moving ahead on making figures and art to sell? Yep, 1000%. But also doing the education side of things and like doing courses and everything. But yeah, because it's just too fun. I love it. And it has like room to expand as well. So does everything, but it's like I've got plans to expand it over time. I'm sure you did a ton of research the first time around with Plain Jane. How do you get confident enough on the second go without leaning on tutorials? What do you mean, Debbie? A ton of first time with what? The sculpt, or like everything around it? Julia, how you doing? Rachel, Ben, do you do thumbnails for your cars before you stream, or do you dive right in? No, just dive right in. This is kind of a thumbnail that we're doing. It's just like a little bit, like we'll end up doing it a little bit further than a thumbnail, I guess you could say. Taking it just a tad bit further, playing around with light and shadow. All right, we're getting somewhere. These guys in the background here, saturate them but darken them. There we go. Cool. Now they've got those little thingamabobs, also known as flowers, which can also, they can be used as like a directional thing, you know, just another way to show perspective. They're kind of just on the top. We can finesse these. These do need a little bit of finessing. All right, speaking of finessing, let's get the palm trees feeling like something. Now there's a lot of color shifts here with the palm trees. So you've got this sort of generic brown color that we've got. What I want to now do is then pump up that saturation as we take it down the, what would you call it? The stem? The trunk, I guess. Do you know palm trees aren't a tree? You probably do, but I was like, because they don't produce wood. They're technically a plant. That I didn't know. Well, I did, but before I knew that, I didn't know that. Story of my life. Alright, so just some sort of a little bit of texture in there as well. That's fine. Now let's have a look at these reliefs. Now let's have a look. Let's think about this. You've got the darker leaves where the shadow is, well, the darker colors around where the shadows are, and as the leaves are sort of either facing towards us and reflecting the light, they get a little bit lighter. So we can utilize that information and have some fun with it. Come on, yes, come back. There we go. And this is all just sitting these real simple shapes and trying to sit them in reality, or some form of reality that we're creating here. All right, even that little indication, that color variance, that value change helps a ton with believability of them. And I'll come in and do some stuff with that. Let's actually, can we get rid of this now? Cool, get rid of the sketch, and that cleans it up quite nicely. Before I knew that, I didn't know that, Ben, but there you go, exactly. Jan Love from India, thanks so much for popping in. How the heck am I going to get this with nothing but value and a pen? That's the fun part. You do it like this. Bam. Grayscale, baby. That's a very good exercise to get control over your values. Give that a whirl. Yeah, I do like me a good neon green. Thank Google Translate, nice. I'm going to do some education stuff for Blender and Unity. Fantastic, super. That'll be cool. Because you've helped me out a bunch with Blender, reach out if you do need any help with some of the education stuff. Lana, do I have any advice for drawing the same character over and over? Yes, understand the 3D forms of that character and simplify these shapes as much as you can, so then you can rotate them in different angles. Very high level answer there, but every 60 seconds a minute passes. True. Senior Bob, oi, have you tried heavy paint? I have. I do want to play around with that more, definitely. Yeah, I meant everything around it. It seemed like you apply the same work ethic to each new thing you do. When we start something, we take notes on how others did it, read up on books. Once you're done following guides, how do you apply it all without instruction? I'm getting instruction all the way through the process. So for example, I'm like, okay, how am I going to put together a book? I've got InDesign because I've got the Creative Cloud, InDesign tutorials. Then, okay, how do I fold them to make them like double-sided, because my printer isn't like a offset printer, right? So then you just figure that out, look at tutorials, forums, that kind of thing. It's kind of just as I need the information. And then once I've understand it, it's like, cool, I understand it. But then if I ever need to go back and I'm like, oh shit, I can't remember how to do the double-sided printing on something, I just Google it, or I write a note and I store it. I store it here in Obsidian. Obsidian is amazing. And for example here, this is like YouTube resources. This is like stories that stick, a summary of the stories that stick book. Same deal, right? So then I can just, if I can't remember something, I'm just like, okay, what was that book called? Like Stories Stick, was it? Stories That Stick, cool. All right, and then it finds it. This was in a Dan Mace video. So I'm making my own kind of little Google that's like searchable. That is how I keep a lot of the information, and it's not all just up in here. Okay, I'll be back in 2 secs. I've had too much coffee. I'll be back momentarily. Oh, come on. Back in 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes. All right. Oh no, you guys can you still hear me? Hello? What did you do? No. If it's not bloody one thing, it's the other, isn't it? Ugh, fuck. Is it the stream that's glitchy? I mean, what else is new? If I'm on, like, really? Ugh. What the fuck? Alright, well, it's this view now, I guess. Tongue guns, I tell you what. You're walking on thin ice, my friend. It's too close now. Oh, yuck. There you go. Rachel, I like it. Oh, you know what? Absolute nuff I am. Hold on. I know the issue. Give me 2 seconds. All right, watch this. We're back. I didn't have the like the always plugged in battery in the camera. And my other headphones just died. It's all happening. All right, are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? All right, we're back-ish. Oh, it's never smooth. Never smooth. But you know what? What it is. All right. Is everything else fine? All right, let's get back to it, hey? Oh, also, my tablet, my screen on my tablet died yesterday as well. So, welcome. If you're out there, we know you're watching. Anarchy for 43 seconds, stun guns. He did it. He did do it. All right, where were we? Let's add a little bit of interest in the mountains here. This is fun to do because it's so subtle, which is so subtle. Australia, land of technology fuck-ups. Tell me about it. We could have had great internet. We could have had fantastic internet, but fuck nuts, whatever his name is, decided that we should have some archaic, like, copper wire bullshit. I can't, don't get me started. All right, so we just some indication of variance, but it's so subtle. Like if we just go black and white, you can barely even see the difference. All right, let's work on the car a little bit. I know you're watching, Wakem. Oh, Isham, my apologies. I can't do anything about that. Rusty Hill, great to have you. I always love watching your videos. Thank you. I'll be honest and say that I wasn't expecting to see one of your live videos because I'm from SA. South Africa? I'm from SA. I'm from South Australia. But SA, I'm assuming that's South Africa. And you usually post around 3:30 a.m. But I'm here. You bloody legend. Great to have you. Ray. But the issue is, right, a little inside baseball here. If a company, like my accountant told me this, if a company sends you something and you use it, and there is record of the transaction, that has to be declared as part of your income, the value of that thing. So whether I buy it or they give it to me, that's something to consider as well. So I believe it goes, it's like a part of your taxable income or something. I was looking at the Huion 27 4K yesterday. I don't know if anyone's had any. I was watching a bunch of reviews on them because I would like to work a little bit larger and specifically for filming over shoulder shots and stuff. It'll be quite nice. Whoop. Oh, we're back. All right, let's add some like wonky tires, shall we? If I can grab the tire layer. Come on. Okay, tire layer, sick. Now, in this world, the tires aren't around. They barely get, whoop. Now the tires are see-through. Why did that happen? Okay, fill. I think I know what's happening. Yep, cool. I know what's going on. There we are. Cool, cool, cool. That is behind that one. This is the issue with working with layers. I do love just like throwing the paint down and it's just, that's what you get, you know? But for the editability, layers do help a lot. Ah, yeah, it was the Wacom. No, not the Wacom, the XP pen. Also Porsche, if you're watching, we know you are. Rachel, what's my favorite part of the art process? that moment after the ugly stage. It's more of a relief. I'm just like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, all right, it's looking how I want it to look. After like hours of it not looking the way I want it to look. That is somewhat like, I wouldn't go as far to say it's euphoric, but it's pretty bloody close. It's just like, fuck yeah. And then you're in the zone, you put your music on and you're just like, And that's with anything. That's with sculpting, that's with drawing, painting, whatever. Glitch, you're fine. Don't you worry about it. This is not a single layer. It will be soon. Maybe. Excel Labs. I'll have to have a look at that. Fascinating. Thumb guns. The Porsche 911 RSR is unlike other 911s. The engine is in front of the rear axle instead of behind it to allow room for the massive rear diffuser. There you go. I love shit like that. I'm not much of a car guy myself. I like the look of cars, but like the internals, not a bloody clue. Oh, Lana, awesome. Glad to hear it. I hope it was a good workout. Does music actually help you draw better? I don't know. I don't have any data to back that up. I like it. Sometimes I don't. Like, I'll just have my headphones on with nothing on. Because I didn't realize. Because I was like, all right, I'll open Spotify. And then I open Spotify, but then I find something that I want to change. And then I'll just sit there for like 2 hours and I realize I've got nothing in the headphones. I reckon let's consolidate some of this stuff. Let's go foreground, middle ground, background. So let's merge the whole car. Let's have this as part of the background. Let's remove the sketch. Foreground. Let's just go middle ground and back. Let's just merge all these. That can stay there. That can stay there. Just to make it a little bit more. Merge the palms. Bam. Yep, merge this bad boy with everything else. That'll work. Just gets a little bit unruly, you know. How am I going to work that? Yep. 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 Merge these two. Okay, these two need to... So just doing a little bit of layer reorganization. Alright, so that's good. That's exactly what I want. Now I want the palms behind that. Then we got the mountains in the back. So we got sky, mountains, palms, other stuff. Oh, that other stuff. This should... Let's knock that in with this. Yep, cool. And then we've got car. Sick. Now this makes it a lot more manageable. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. 5 layers instead of like 20. Glad to hear it, Lana. Ishan, Senselabs is pronounced Senselabs. Okay, there you go. Sketchy Gatto, welcome. It's always insane how much more focus I get whenever I put on a song that gets me in the mood of the scene. True. Recently I'll put on videos, but I've learned that's way too distracting for me. What I've been doing recently is I've been putting on like ultra 4K HD YouTube videos of people just walking through different cities. Like it's just a first person like walking through random cities. There's no editing, no nothing. They'll just go from one point to another. It's very cool. Maybe I need to get outside more. But I think it's pretty cool. Alright, let's get some of this reflection going, because we've got a few things going on here. We've got like the reflection of the sky, so it's going to be a little bit more blue tinted. So just an indication of the windows being see-through. So it gives a bit of the illusion, and then we will add one more layer on top. We'll make it a screen layer. And let's just add some of these reflections. Yeah, that does what I want it to. Enough, I guess. Let's change these tire colors. I don't want them gold. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down. No. Yep. That's the benefit of doing the lasso stuff, is you can just come in and do this. Alright, let's add some of the trim. Bam. Is that the panel lines? I think they're panel lines, that's what you'd call them. Not going to be perfect, but that's fine. A little bit lighter. There's just another way to help with the illusion. No, way too. I'm noodling right now. At least I've identified that I am. I'm not doing anything about it. Cool. Let's mess around with these. Let's get a little bit more structure. Alright, so let's say the shadow's happening here, here, here. Now what I want to do is I want to cut into the shadow a little bit, give some more structure. Alright, so I want to have some of these cut back in, because it's not all going to be in like super shadow. Not being super accurate with it, but just trying to get some sort of the illusion. Cool. Now we can add some of these darker shapes back here just to push it further in the background. Palms. All right, let's refine this just a bit more. Some duration. Oh, this is prime for like a dinosaur, isn't it? So just some more sticks. Yeah, sketchy. If I get some songs that I'm into, I've got to be very careful of that I'll just repeat them over and over and over and over again. Fat Cappy, how you doing? Lana, but how long did it take you until you got good enough for it to be like natural and easy to do? What are we talking about? That's another question. I wouldn't say that it's ever easy. You want Schmosh? Nice. Oh, super. Sorry, my apologies. No, I missed that. G Noble, how you doing? If you saw this question earlier, if I missed it, but I asked if you had any advice in mind when you offered help with educational content. Might sound obvious, but try and put yourself in the mindset of someone, or like try and think about where you were in the learning process with certain things when you had no idea. And maybe even start taking notes of things that you don't understand, and when you finally do understand them, you can articulate the problem. The better that you can articulate the problem that you're trying to solve, I think the more engaging the content, at least for me, when I'm watching educational content, because we get stuck in, or I tend to get stuck in like, oh yeah, everyone will already know this. Like, I'm not saying anything new, you know? But if you can put yourself in that like mindset of, oh yeah, I didn't know how to, I don't know. I didn't know I still can't, it's not locked up here, but the process of just texturing a simple sculpt and the difference between vertex paint and like image texturing with UVs and that kind of thing, that still confuses the living shit out of me. I didn't have anything to grasp onto. I had no, like, where is the vertex paint going? Like, I'm painting on the thing, but where is it? So little things like that, just reminding people, is like, okay, the reasons behind stuff, I think is going to be super helpful as well, instead of just like, do this, do this, do this. I like to understand the reasonings behind. A good example is like like you've heard of warm light, cool shadow, right? It's just a rule that people say, and they're like, yeah, if the warm light, it's cool shadow. What does that even mean? Like, why? Okay, I don't want to be just left with that. It's like, all right, if it's a warm shadow, warm light, it's a cool shadow. I want to know why. What's the reason? But that could just be me. Some people might just want to know the rule and that kind of thing. I want to know it so I know when and how to break it. And when I come back to it next time, I have a frame of reference and the reasoning behind why I'm making the decision, versus just trying to remember arbitrary rules around like, okay, this is just what you do, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Ashlyn, you're back. Welcome back. What's something you've been listening to a lot lately? Van Neistat. I absolutely have just been binging his stuff. Particularly because now I've got like a little workshop going. There's like rules, right? Or just like ways to, it's very, it can seem very philosophical as well. It's just like little things. Is like there's a place for everything. And like stacking things on top of one another on shelves is like a cardinal sin. You should be able to reach everything with one hand and have it all accessible. And that like drawers are where tools go to die because you can't find them. There's no like reference for anything. Like even if you got a little label and everything, that's why I want everything just like available at all times, everywhere. That's why I went and got like all the pin boards and stuff. I love that stuff. Just and there's a reason why. It's not just like, oh, don't stack things. Again, going back to what I was saying with the educational stuff, it's like, it's not just like, oh, don't stack things and that's that. It's like, no, don't stack things, because if you want something that's underneath like 3 layers of stacked stuff, then and it's just a pain in the ass. And then that's like 5 minutes trying to like unstack those things and get the thing that you want, and that's 5 minutes that is taking you out of flow when you're working on something. So it's fantastic. I love that stuff. I think we're nearing the end of this one. I mean, I could always just keep going and going and going, but I want to start figuring out that character for today. Brioche. Have you done any food illustration? I haven't actually. That'll be fun. How long did it take you to get good? I mean, it's like, this is the thing, define good. Like when I was doing realism, some people might say like, oh, that's good. But I wasn't happy with it because it wasn't like, it didn't fulfill me to sound wanky and whatever. Like there was just something missing. I don't know. It's such a subjective thing, like good. It's a hard, basically I've been drawing on and off for most of my life. So you could take that as and I'm 30, so. But the last 2 years I've been doing the stylized stuff, let's say. Yeah, definitely, super. Yeah, feel free. Adeola, my apologies. How are you using the lasso tool to color without pressing Control D to fill? That is the filthy plugin. Shameless plug, but you asked, and I'm answering. Links in the description if you want to check that out. Sketchy. I totally agree. I remember I hated chemistry class in high school because I just had to memorize how things interacted without any reasoning. Yeah, that was a big issue with me in school as well. I had some shit teachers that didn't bother to explain why any of this is important. And the ones that did, and they took the time and said, oh, well, look, in the real world, this is where this and X, Y, Z can come in handy. I did way better in those classes. Because even like years ago, I got really into like memory practice. Like I'm a fucking weirdo. I got really into like memory and how to like extend my memory and that kind of thing, and like memorizing the deck of cards and memorizing people's names and how many things I could memorize in it. Like there was no real reason for it. I thought I was just interested in it. And the big takeaway from understanding that and learning a little bit more about that is if you can if you can connect the information that you want to retain to a story or a place or a thing that you already know, it's going to stick 1,000 times more. Like there's these things called memory palaces, right? Where they will, like memory, I guess athletes, I guess you'd call them, where they can just like memorize pi and like a whole deck of cards randomly shuffled, and they can just remember the whole series of things. What they do in a nutshell is they have an image or a thing for each card, right? So let's say, I don't know, the Queen of Hearts is Freddie Mercury. So the Queen of Hearts is always Freddie Mercury. And then when the Queen of Hearts comes in the sequence, they have like, what you do is you think of a room in your house, right? That you're just very familiar with. And then you put Freddie Mercury down, right? And then say the next one is like the Jack of Spades. It's like, all right, Michael Jackson. So then what you do is you say, you've got Freddie Mercury sitting next to Michael Jackson having a conversation. And the more absurd it is, the more that it sticks. And then you just run through that story and you just keep going and going and going. It's fascinating. I love that stuff. Thank goodness. Oh. Cuckoo Podcast Rex. Thumb guns, I tell you what, I already did that. Not my dream studio, but the layout and stuff. Blends is fantastic. I use it for so much. Podcast recommendations. I mean, you got the staples. Like I listen to Joe Rogan a lot. Sometimes I listen to Bad Friends. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. I do enjoy Tell 'em Steve Dave. That's a good one. That's a funny one. That's like Kevin Smith's universe sort of thing. Who else? I almost use like YouTube a lot more. And just like I listen to Asmongold. I don't know what the fuck he's saying half the time. But for some reason, I'll just throw him on in the background. And I'm just like, and then like a couple of hours have gone by, I'm like, shit, he's talking about like the fucking Lich King and mobs and all sorts of like World of Warcraft stuff. I've got no idea what he's talking about. Not a bloody clue. Let's get a little bit of depth here. Going off in the background with some of the sticks, the stems, the trunks. All right, look, I reckon I'll leave that there. I'm just going to noodle on it forever otherwise. Cool little warm up. Uncle T, welcome. Hi, I'm completely new to digital art. I have got to ask, are artists blending with the actual blending tool like on Procreate, or is it just brushwork and colors? You can do both. I prefer to do it with brushwork and colors at first, and if that works, then that's great. But then if I want to just speed up the process, then yeah, the smudge tool can work. Who did you say you were watching regarding the organizing things? Van Neistat. Thank you, Debbie. Amal Muzia, but sometimes you can download blending brushes. Yes, you can. I usually avoid the blending or smudge tool personally. KT, me too. Lana, I hope I can visit Australia one day. I want to see Sydney and the Irwin Zoo, which is really touristy of me, but still, hey, look, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, South Australia is great as well. That's where I'm from. And if you can go to like wildlife parks and like feed kangaroos and stuff and like emus, it's good fun. Ashland, exactly the same thing. If you can put it in a song or like a place or a song, just so it's connected to something that you already know, it's perfect. I would have a kick watching JJBA. What's that again? Clip Studio or Ibis Paint? I've only tried Clip Studio, so I'd say Clip Studio. All right, let's get some sketching going, hey? Then I'll catch up with... Let's just bloody collapse this all down. All right, I'm going to take a 1 minute break. This bloody coffee's running straight through me. Too much information. My apologies. Back in 2. Let's go 2.5 again. All right. Let's go. Sketching gorilla with a character on the back, okay? Using this kind of as a guide. I wonder if we can, let's do some investigations on gorillas running. Silverback gorillas in particular. Gorilla running. Well, they run on... There we go. That's what I'm after. Alright, we'll use that. So we're going to have to do some... Oh, that's a good one. Look at that. Fuck. Imagine that coming at you. Jesus Christ. That's great. How cool. Oh, they're my favourite. Is that real? Nah, that's some AI shit. All right, let's see what we can do with what we've got there. I'll just quickly catch up with the chat. Yeah, Debbie, give it a go. Clip's more versatile. Good to know. I appreciate it, Debbie. Asmund Gold is a train wreck, but he's incredibly entertaining. That's the thing. Might I suggest Tarzan on the gorilla? I mean, it's right there. Yeah, but I want to do my own little spin. I appreciate it, Lana. Rachel, I was great at the game memory as a toddler. Couldn't talk, but match cards like a pro. That's wicked. Cuckoo, I think I missed your response to my question about how to get good wonkiness. A lot of it is experimentation. Try it. Use the transform tool. Be prepared to iterate. Can you see dolphins in Australia? Like swim with them? I've never seen a kangaroo. It's on my list. Yeah, well, there's a place up here where my dad and I go kayaking. We have been kayaking in this place called the Port, and you can go up into the mangroves, and then the dolphins will just come up underneath you and just swim next to you while you're kayaking. It scares the living shit out of you though, because your brain doesn't go, oh, that's a dolphin. You're just, oh shit, that's it. Oh, it's a dolphin. Thank goodness. So you can get pretty close to them. And if you go fishing as well, some places if you go fishing, they'll like come back with the boats, and then you just like feed them like your leftover bait and that kind of thing. All right, I gotta catch up. I did actually put a baby gorilla on the gorilla I drew last stream. Do I want to see it? Yes, I do want to see it. Oh shit! New Zealand doesn't have sharks. Yeah, New Zealand doesn't have any like you don't have like poisonous snakes or anything, so you can just go walking in the bush like barefoot and not even worry about it. I like this. Like I want it to be like a. Let's try. Let's experiment. Hey. I want to play around with this face. Let's get comfortable. So we'll probably go for like another hour and a half or something. Hour and a half. See what we can get. Put a time limit on it. Okay, gorilla. Keeping this kind of vibe going. I like it if we imagine it in a box. This does confuse me a little bit sometimes. I don't always use this method of like boxing things out. Just realized he's here. But this is kind of the position I'd like to have it in. So he's like running, maybe like arm out, and then person, character, whatever on top. So we're gonna have to get some reference of someone on a horse probably to like see how they would be riding or something. New Zealand does have sharks. I was thinking that. Dad's in the chat as well. John Eblin. Everyone say hi. New Zealand does have sharks. Yeah, because it's the ocean. So they've got this massive like peak on their head, right? Hello, Jeblin. Who's John? John is my dad. How dare you? Yeah, we love a good barefoot walk in the bush. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Got tiny little ears, don't they? Just got to find where the eyes are going to sit. I can get the expression going. Fit these eyes in. So where did I put the eyes of this? Yeah, they're a little bit further up and a little bit smaller. No. Anger. That's what we want. We want anger. Back more. So this is just iteration. So much iteration. I'm not going to hit it first shot. No chance. I'm in too many fandoms. Have I seen the Epic the musical animatic? I haven't. I'll have to check that out. Oh yeah, dolphins are assholes as well. They're just like people. They can be nice, but they can also be terrible. So a bit too realistic. Some of this. So that. So that little eyelid helps a lot in showing like emotion. All right, so then let's see if we can emulate this. So this is gonna look odd as I'm trying to figure it out. So it just is what it is. And then someone on the back. So this is kind of the concept, I guess. Then maybe the little quacker is on the back as well, and he's just like, yeah, fuck you, with his little knife. Use pufferfish to get high. That I didn't know. Yeah, KT, the Discord should be in the description. Roger, welcome. Trying to draw a gorilla character with another character on top of the gorilla. Something's happening here. Let's move old Quokka mate out of the way. Let's move him out the way just for a moment. So what I'm thinking about is... Oh, okay. Wrong layer. No, yes, come back. He knows what it's like to chew 5 gum. Fucking hell.
Open my eyes, I slept through the day. Slept through the day, feeling uneasy, I push it away. Push it away. Last night was fun, don't feel like today.
Alright, so I want to get some of this. Let's use a larger brush, like. Just gotta figure out. She's, or he, haven't figured that out yet. It's got to be like focused, looking ahead. How's she holding on though? Does he have a little handle that she's holding on to? Like what's the thing on the back of a horse? Saddle. She's like, yeah, that way. Keep going. Oh, wrong layer, you dickhead. We'll knock it back. Oh, Ashlyn, stay safe. Bloody hell, tornado warning. Holy shit. Travis, King Kong fan art. Kind of. Dharmic, good morning. Make him a radioactive glow ruler. Oh, man. Could also be a young boy up there. Yeah, this can... Yeah, I got no idea at the moment. Let's just get a bit clearer. Some of these larger shapes. Scavenger. 2300. I'm working on a personal project where I task myself to design anthropomorphic characters with humanoid features. I really want to be specific and easily identifiable. Nice. Fingers should go in his ears. That's the handle, just like holding on. And then she's like angry as well. Make him an impressionist style gorilla. I wouldn't mind playing around with that. So almost, so I don't want it to be like relaxed. She's got to be like bracing herself as well. She's a bit too big as well, but we'll fix that later. This is how it starts off real shitty. Now this is where the simplified shapes come in. So the gorilla's body, cylinder going back in space, going back that way. So then her legs have to do something similar. So yeah, that has a little bit more direction to it. I've never seen Grape Ape, Rod. Rusty, that's what I'm working on now. Let's see what kind of... What should she be holding? Like, I don't know. Something sharp. There we go. A big stick. No portraits today, Ishan, I don't think. Oh, I mean, we're doing a little bit of one here. So this leg is back. Let's move all this shit out of the way. Move it. No. So his arms should swing out. Around like that. Actually, because this leg is out, then this should be the planted arm, I think, and the other one should be out here, maybe. I don't know. I'm winging it at the moment. It's a wacky old 70s cartoon. I'm showing my age. A blade, a water gun, a hot dog. Why not all of them? Chan Joe Art does amazing creature designs. I have to check him out. Yeah, as I'm doing more, if I want to explore more animal stuff, that's a good idea to get some reference. Actually got some sort of satchel or something just to show the movement. Could be cool. Oh, I did it on the wrong fucking Every time. How to maintain the dynamic while thinking in 3D? Should it be more stretchy effect or kind of blurry? Thanks for the lesson, Faha. I'm kind of swapping between 2D and 3D thinking. So I like this leg going back in space here. Right, but I'm unsure about the arms. So that's where I might do 2D. Like a little bit more 2D. To figure that out. And then if that's feeling right, then I'll come through with figuring out the 3D-ness of it all. Gotta be quiet because I'm not animal anatomy is not my strong suit. But let's figure this out. Devi, no need to apologise, my friend. No, you're all good. Cato, ta bueno el chango. Can someone translate that, please? Oh, boomerang. Maybe. It's getting some volume in here. There's something happening. So we've got this leg kicking out, so we want the opposite going this way, and we want them planted. So this one's planted and this one's planted. Now it's just figuring out how that actually looks. I like that hand here, so maybe we try and figure that out. Let's just simplify it. Cylinder, then we got like maybe the rectangle for the hand, and that thumb coming out. I think it could be more tilted this way. That feels a little bit more gorilla-y. Gesture for feeling things out, 3D for clarity. Very well put. 3D is also helpful for understanding what it is you're drawing though. Yes, definitely. Is it true it's hot in the winter and cold in the summer in Australia? No, it's hot in the summer and it's cold in the winter. But depending on where you're at, in the US, it is flipped. So we have hot Christmases. The Chango is good. Oh, good. Valeria. Nice monkey. Thank you. So you can maybe imagine the knuckles or something. Like that. So this, I think, should be simplified, just coming straight up, just like bam, bam, bam. Oh, the monkey is good. Okay, I get you. I appreciate it, Valeria. I know what you mean now. Thank you, Debbie. Oh, the music is good. At least I think Chango refers to the song. Ah, Chango's monkey. Oh, okay. Either way, it was positive. I've been pulling my hair out since some code I was writing wasn't working. Turns out I need to change remove listener to add listener. The error was human the whole time. Fuck. I feel you, man. Oh my god, this coffee indigestion is ridiculous. Ah, no worries, Kato. Bullwinker, is this K-pop? I'm not listening to what you guys are listening to. I'm listening to Spotify. So no. Hopefully it's okay. The music. Faha, is it true that in Australia has a lot of giant insects like giant spiders? Yeah, spiders get pretty big. You have big snakes as well and big sharks. Sharks are the scariest things because there's no risk of me seeing a shark when I'm going for a walk down the street, you know? But you could run into a snake. If I don't want to see a shark, I just don't go in the water. Simple. You're in their domain. Now it's so easy to make these characters look stupid just by like getting the pupil direction just a little bit wrong. She's like, come on, gorilla. You can do it. So we just got to be very, very careful with that and the eye direction. So let's even give ourselves something that she's looking at so then we can get at least a bit of a direction there. Australia scares me, seems dangerous. Nah, it's fine. Put it this way, I've never seen a snake in the wild. So there's that, and I've lived here my whole life. Mind you, I don't go bushwalking too much, but I have, and I've not really seen snakes, but I know people have all the time. Like my mates do. They go up, walking up in the hills and stuff, and they see brown snakes. Brown snakes are the scariest. They're very, 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 very venomous. The scariest ones are the baby ones, because they don't know how to control the amount of venom that they put in you. So they just release everything they've got into you, and then you're just like, oh shit. But no, you can still go swimming. You just got to know that there's always a risk. I mean, you don't want to, if you're going like kind of maybe like waist deep, you'll be fine. Catch you later, cuckoo. Australia seems to... Yeah, Australia seems fun. I like Australia. It's bloody fantastic. Now these eyes, we gotta fix them up eventually. So maybe this is all like tucked in because she's trying to keep stable while this gorilla's going literal ape shit. This is very just like conceptual, not refined by any means. I think this could even be pushed more. She's off on a different angle. So I've got to fix that, I think. So let's bring our 3D thinking into this. So cylinder going back. Glad to hear it, Lana. You finding these helpful? That's great. Super. All of mine are max. Roger, you had a small snake in your house and my cats are slapping it non-stop when it's finally out. My dad said it was a demon in disguise, but I thought, how can my cat slap a demon? Sam, the shapes you use are always so clean and interesting. Love it. I appreciate it, Sam. You do have the platypus, a duck-billed mammal that lays eggs that is poisonous. Proof God has a sense of humor. It is a bloody weird animal. Casual, thank you. So this is probably going to be facing us a little bit more. So this is where I'd actually go and say, like, get reference of like jockeys and that sort of stuff. But at this point in time, I cannot be bothered. So we're just going to wing it. Is a little bit too close, so let's move that back. Bullwinkle. I haven't used grease pencil. No. No, I do want to though. Here, I'm thinking about the structure of the head in relation to everything else. So this is going to help the eye placement, the nose placement, and everything, like the tilt. So we could even simplify this down as like a cylinder, if that makes any sense, right? So that, the brows here, you could use this line to think about the brow line. Big ear, of course. Lana, are you thinking of particular shapes you want to use each time, or you're just used to doing certain ones for different animals and humans? Now I'm thinking about the shapes regardless of the type of thing that I'm drawing. Could be a spoon, could be a chair, could be a person, could be a gorilla. This is gonna do my head in, this. Particularly the mouth. Let's just try with a simple just mouth placement, just to start. Now the eye isn't going to be sitting down here, it's going to be sitting within the sockets. So we might not see too much of this other eye. Imagine the eyelash on this side. Better-ish. Now that open mouth at different angles is really, really tricky. At least for me. So let's see if we can reverse engineer this. So if we go, that's where the chin ends. That's feeling okay. Now with the mouth open, the chin's gonna go down. Alright, so the chin might be down a little bit further, but it's going back in space. So that's something to take into account. Now, let's just look up person screaming. Just to like figure out some mouth shapes. That could be helpful. Yeah, it's so fucking annoying. There's just a lot of tweaking and changing and shame you only have Max. I was going to invite you to test my game. Currently, the build will only work for PC or Steam Deck. Ah, bugger. So tricky knowing how much of the opposite side of the face to show. Yes, it is very tricky. I'm just going to start again. Brow, eyes, nose, screaming face, screaming mouth, let's say. Nah, that looks weird as fuck. So this is a good, I guess, illustration, pun fully intended, of like how iterative this can be. Surprisingly, the gorilla was a lot easier. Oh, Chris, after midnight. You crazy kid. Welcome. Catch you later, Super. No, great to have you pop in. I'll catch you in the next one. Lana, I'm working on illustrating my first ever book. It's a lot of work. Anyone have any advice? I've never done that, so if anyone has any advice, yeah, flick it through to Lana. Oh, this is frustrating. That's all right. Maybe we just get the base head in and then focus on the rest of the body. Oh, Leon, thank you so much. Thanks for popping in. All right, I think it's jockey time. Or like riding horse fast. Ah, that's cool. It's like to the side. So that's a cool little cue. Whoa. I mean, that's got a lot of energy to it. I could take a little bit from that, I reckon. I want to try. Yeah, maybe have her head a little bit closer this way. So she can like talk to him. Oh, Axel. Just came from Kingdom of the Apes to this. How was it? So maybe even the body's just down a little bit here as well. So kind of like, it's not so upright. It's just like leaning. That feels a little bit more, I don't know, interesting. Yeah, that feels a lot more interesting. A lot more crouched, a lot more, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the actual character, but the pose is feeling better. I appreciate it, Lana. Rachel the Strong, Ben, what's the proportions between a human and a gorilla? Might help with length and realism. Yeah, I don't know. That's a very good question. Enthusiast, welcome back. Sorry, it's been a while since the last time I can join your live streams. What are we making today? No apologies needed. Great to have you. Making this. Someone riding a silverback gorilla, which is tricky to make it look believable and somewhat dynamic, I guess you could say, to use a artsy fartsy term. This feels a little better. Still looks a little derpy. Mooney Poopy. Hello. Looks like Samurai Jack is riding the gorilla. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, Ashlyn. Good to have you back. All right, let's think about this arm and hand connection. So the hand here is going back in space. shoulder here, shoulder here. Glasses here. They're gonna fall off. No glasses. I appreciate it, Ashley. That's what I'm saying. An ape mount would be bloody the best. And then on top of her we have this little guy. Ugh. So I want to use the same face. But then he's like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. I think I'm gonna have to change your face. He's just like, fuck yeah. He's got his like crazy eyes going maybe. He's got a little box cutter. He's just like holding on to her. He's just like, fucking let's go. I like that idea. Ratatouille 2 is looking crazy. Can that Quokka have a ray gun? I think that's too advanced. Like, I almost want it to be like he's that skilled just with a box cutter. But I got it, yeah, I'd want to like make his face like look really like better. Like really better. Like a lot better. Now what would Quokkas look like anatomy wise? Fuck, we gotta do some figuring out, don't we? Maybe he's like right behind her bun and then he's just like holding on. Bashar, welcome. Mr. Sir. Great to have you back. Hope you've been well. Mr. B. Oh, the UK. How you doing? Thanks for popping in. You got to give the little guy some war paint. I would love to. You read my mind. It's almost just like a little bit of comic relief. It's just like, oh, they're going to war. And he's like, fuck yeah. Yeah, I've got to do a little bit of work on his face, but you get the idea. Not what I thought I was going to be drawing today, but I'm glad we're here. Yeah, I like it. I like how he's like mimicking her. Crockett Anatomy 101. Imagine I come out with like a full course. Denny Ver, this is... What is the image size? 4320 by 5400. This fits a Instagram portrait size. The skeletons probably look like ours, yeah, probably, just with all the fluff. And then it goes to like nothing. Udula! Hey Ben, good morning. This is awesome. Thank you. Mr. B. You won't find them on Amazon unless someone's reselling them. The only place you can get them is through me. Except for the art books, actually. No, like the character design quarterly, they're through Amazon. I feel like we're creating something here with this little quokka guy. I feel like he's going to be a recurring theme. See, I can do quokka mouths fine, but fucking when it comes to people. Alright, let's think about the jaw, the teeth. Oh, look, that'll do just for now, I guess. No. Let's just keep it a flat for now. Just But then there was this day when you just walked away. Rusty, he could. Nah, I think he's a little bit smarter than that. So if he's holding something, it'll be like... Alright, I'm noodling the quokka at the moment. Let's... Alright, I think that's a good place to to leave it. I like that little quokka guy. Maybe his fit, like he looks kind of comfy up there. So maybe his feet are just like... just chilling. Oh no, that doesn't actually does look like great. Fuck, what do quokka feet look like? Yeah, fine, that'll... no. Yeah, look, that'll do. What the fuck? Hello? Okay, there we go. Yep, cool. All right. With that, yep, I reckon we'll call it. All right, before I catch up with chat, gonna do a couple of housekeepings. So, if you like this stylized stuff, got to do some plugs. Everything you can find on beneblin.com. All right, you've got tutorials, stylized character tutorial, 8 hours, 10 chapters of videos. You also get 3D models to learn from, thinking in 3D, and a 40-page field guide if you enjoy reading through tutorials and stuff. That's a companion to the videos. Plug 1, done. Plug 2. Let's go on Instagram. So, art drops. Speaking of, join the early access art drop list. I'm going to be doing... so the last drop was a success. Plain Jane. It was fantastic. I'm going to be doing more of her. Going to be doing hands as well, little stylized hands, and some prints in this next drop. So... last drop, 99% of the people that got their hands on something within the first 3 hours were from the early access art drop, which gave them a 3-hour head start on the general population. So you get an email with a password to the store and you get free reign to go for it. So keep an eye out for that on Instagram and here, or wherever you're watching this at the moment. Podcast. If you like the businessy kind of stuff, me and my good friend Francis, we chat about it. We do all the in-depth talkings about real numbers, analytics. We get nerdy about this stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go check that out. And last but not least, the Photoshop Filthy autofill plugin. How we used a lot of that with this guy. Right, so you can just go bam, bam, bam. Fill it in, do hue shifts, do luminance lock, do a whole bunch of other stuff. go check that out. We're currently in the process of doing some updates to it as well, so look out for that. And I think that's it. So I'll throw this link there and in here for everyone's enjoyment. Oh, no, just the beneblin.com as well, just so you get everything there. So, bada bing, bada boom, and let me catch up with chat before we head off. Oh, come on, let me just scroll up. But yeah, this is a fun one today. All the other ones are fun, but this is yeah, I'm enjoying this. I reckon I might take this a lot further. Thank you, Lana. Bashar, Ben, do you ask people at the beginning of the stream what to do? No, I just go for it. And then take input as we go. Mr. B, okay, I'm following you on Instagram, so I'll check the Stylized Plastic Head and definitely buy the Amazon books. I'm going on a splurge. Oh, sign up to that early access list if you it'll increase your chances greatly of getting something. Who knew the animal study session would inspire a brand new era? That's what I'm saying. That's great. And who knew a quokka of all things? So yeah, I'm happy with that. Rusty, I think, yep, I agree. There's a lot of adjustments to be made. We will make them. Penthusiast, any chance of me exploring something like Ashley Wood's style and combine it with your style? Ashley Wood. I'm sure I know it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. The Forearm Travis is still one of the best illustrations I've seen this year. Thank you so much. That was fun. I want to do Mark and Tom as well. But what's the podcast called? Oh, it's called Make Now, Think Later. Devi, the only resources I've got is just the blog post that I've written. I think maybe that's a good idea. Resources link. That's a good one. Let me write that down. Resources website. Thank you. By the way, Ben, did you have a... Oh, no, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Orkin, thank you for popping in. Dandy, this was a lovely stream. The Cocker is definitely the star of the show. That's what I'm saying. I love him. He's great. And maybe the gorilla is still his daughter. He's just so proud of her. He's like, that's right, sweetheart. You tell him what's what. That'll be funny, I reckon. Nah, I had a lot of fun with this. Now, I appreciate you popping in, Lana. Bullwinkle, catch you later. Ishan. Yes, finally, a bada bing bada I appreciate you, Rusty. So look, thank you everyone for popping in. It's an absolute pleasure each week to sit down, have a bit of a laugh, draw a little bit, learn a little bit. And I will catch you maybe tomorrow. Might do an impromptu stream for an announcement. But yeah, apart from that, thank you very much as always. And I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo. Gotta find the end stream. Okay. Toodaloo.